Hey, what's going on? Cornelius here. Welcome to the More X community. I'm so happy to see that there's another person out there who believes that there is definitely more to life than the face value. There is more to life than just being born, going to school, getting a job, and then passing away. There's more to life. There's someone else out there who believes that everyone has two lives. And the second one begins when we realize we only have one. I'm so happy to see that you are now a part of this community. Now, you may be asking, what is that second life that I was just talking about? Well, everyone has two lives. The first one is the face value of life. The life where we're born, we go to school, we get a job, we pass away. And that is not meaningful. It's not inspirational. And it's not that way because it's only the face value of life. So we want to start living the second life, the life that's meaningful to us, the life where this is important to us, where we have something that's interesting, we have something that's inspirational, and we have something that's meaningful. That's the second life. But the problem is, the second life doesn't begin until we realize we only have one. So, how do we realize that? We only have a finite amount of time on the earth. We know this to be true. So once you realize that time is running out, you're not going to want to waste time building on the face value of life. No, 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 no. You want to spend as much time growing within the meaningful side of life. You want to find out what is interesting to me, what inspires me, what is meaningful. And see, this is a community of people who are like minded. So in this community, you're going to be surrounded by people who are going to encourage you, who want to know, hey, what's meaningful to you? They want to know and want to help and encourage you to keep moving forward because it's not enough to just be alive. No, that's not enough. We want to truly start living our life. All right. So in this video, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. All I want to do is show you the brand, right? So that way you can see kind of a visual representation of the community. Let me share my screen with you. And now hopefully you can see my screen. All right. So you can see at the very top, more X, right? Now you may be wondering, Cornelius, why is it more X? Well, number one, everyone has something that's meaningful to them. That's that more, the more to life. But that X, that represents the individualism that everyone's going to have. Everyone's meaningful thing is going to be different than someone else's. It's like what's meaningful to me is going to be different or maybe different from what is meaningful to you. But it doesn't matter who has a difference of what's meaningful. What matters is that we know what is meaningful and we start to move forward and we keep moving forward toward what inspires us and what is meaningful to us. So that's at the very top. Now, underneath, the things that uphold is the mind and the body. Now, we have to understand the more behind the mind. What do I mean by that? You have to understand how this works. Okay, if you don't understand how this works, chances are your mind is going to screw with you. It's going to screw with you, and then we're not going to be able to move forward. So we want to understand the mind. And then the body. We want to make sure that we live long enough to see what is meaningful to us actually come true. We want to make sure we live long enough to see that happen. And if what is meaningful to you is already happening, we want to make sure that we live long enough or live as long as possible within this reality. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand the more behind health and fitness. We have to understand what health and fitness really means. So that way we have longevity within what is meaningful to us. And then lastly, the one thing that upholds the mind and the body, the one thing that we need in order to make sure that we have what is meaningful to us is at the very bottom, the foundation, the spirit. Now, what do I mean by that? 99% of you guys know exactly what this book is. Okay? But I would dare say 99% of you guys watching have only known the stories behind, or the stories within this book. And see, that's not enough. There's much more to this than the stories. For you guys who do not believe, right, you may have questions about this. You know, you may say something like, okay, why, if God loved us, then why did he put the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the garden if he knew that Adam was going to sin? That's a very good question. You see, and if you only just read the face value of this book, it's not going to make sense. You see, the more behind this book is relationship. And so what I aim to do here, along with helping you understand the mind and the body, is helping you to understand the relationship behind these words. So for those of you who are unsaved, who have questions, you can ask them, and I can help you. I can help you to understand the relationship behind these words, because a lot of you have like very, very solid questions. Another question someone may say, and for you guys who are believers, you guys need to know how to show people the relationship behind these words. Because someone may ask this question: if God is so loving, then why did he send a flood that killed thousands or countless people? That's a valid question. You see what I'm saying? So for those of you who do believe in God, we have to understand that the training that we need is not the training that we're getting, because what we're pretty much being told are all the stories, but we're not seeing the relationship behind the story. We're not understanding him. We're not understanding him. So that's another thing that I aim to do in this community. Help you guys to, number one, understand the more behind this book. And then number two, help you to understand the more behind the mind. And number three, help you to understand the more behind the body. So that way, when we understand what is meaningful to us, we can move forward. And once we start moving forward, we can keep moving forward. Okay? So once again, thank you so much for joining the community. I'm so happy to see, and I'm sure everyone else who has seen that you joined, they are very, very excited, because now someone else also believes that there's more to life, and they are ready to start living the second life because they realized we only have one. I'll see you next time.